What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Kane and Ross Present, the Yeah, I Said It podcast. We're expressing what our full capabilities to them might want us in correctional facilities. I am the rather upset dad half of this operation, Ross Cooper. Having more conversations that I really thought we wouldn't have to have right away. But regardless of that, we are having a conversation. By me, I mean myself and my amazing, awesome co-host, always rocking with the best. Please introduce yourself to the folk.
Yeah, well, dead people receive more flowers than living ones because the regret stronger than the gratitude. How y'all doing, everybody? Everybody's having a good day, month, year, hour, second, all that good stuff. If you're watching on other platforms, please share it with your friends, family, your enemies, your pets, your neighbor, the alien that's outside your door, all that good stuff. And if you're watching on the tube, please like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Because if you don't, we're going to war with China in 2 years.
I just cannot. I cannot. That ain't gonna happen. That piece you dropped was bars. That's heavy, and I'm a little somber because I'm kind of angered out. So we're gonna get into it. Memphis over the weekend footage was released. The body cam footage was released from the officers involved in the brutal beating of Tyre Nichols. Questions still remain. Now, unlike everything else we've seen in this vein, almost, almost, the officers were fired, charged what I consider to be properly up to second degree murder, kidnapping, facing between 15 and 60 years. And that was all before the body cam footage came out. The five officers that beat the hell out of unarmed motorist Tyre Nichols, literally less than a football field away from his house, while he screamed for his mother. Tyre was black. The officers were black. This sadly reinforces something, if you've been following along here, that my co-host and I have said for years. This isn't simply a racial thing in the sense of this is not white cops on black people. There's a lot of that. And numerically, you would expect it because the police force is nationally is overwhelmingly white and male. What we saw were five black people beating their head, double the size of Tyrese. Tyrese's about 140, 150 on a good day, just teeing off on him. What we saw was a concerted effort to distort the facts because they're yelling things and covering the camera and making it seem like they're responding to things Tyrese knows. That's not actually the case. So what we also saw was him be pepper sprayed, tased, sat up against a car like a worthless sack of old clothing. We saw paramedics come to the scene and do next to nothing for precious minutes. And the aftermath of what his face looked like until he died 3 days later. Yeah, brought back shades of Rodney King. Now, you gotta wonder, there's a lot of lingering questions. A lot of people are saying that, well, these are white cops, this would happen so swiftly. I I kind of didn't agree with that. You and I argued about that offline, but now I gotta wonder because there is a six cop who pepper sprayed him and has been, let me see, placed on leave. Now, see, that's where it gets like,
Told you.
how are you? And again, I don't know how he was placed on leave. Um, it we've always understood blue trumps black trumps white, whatever. We understand that how white supremacy works. It makes anyone hate black, even black. So when you put that uniform on, you don't see yourself as black anymore. And I think it's especially dangerous for black males who feel not empowered in this culture. This is as close as you get to exercising some power. And now you factor in the culture of police that deem all black men a threat anyway. You forgot you were one. And just the thing that's really despicable, there's a couple of points. You don't do this unless you think you can get away with it. And you did it so effortlessly. You just all automatically knew to say stop all of the things that would make it seem like it wasn't what it was, which lets me know this ain't your first time doing this. This was not, oh shit, what do we do? No, this was working in concert to make it seem like it wasn't what it was. And that's, I just, 60 years, I hope you get all 60 of them. The chief of police formed what was called the Scorpion Unit. That's what this was, the Scorpion Unit. It's supposed to be, I forgot what the acronym is, but it's supposed to be for community policing. It's to make the community safer. We have no idea to this moment what this young man was pulled over for. Just randomly, hey, let's fuck with this guy. Let's beat the hell out of this guy. How are you making the community safer? That's literally what this unit was supposed to be doing, making the community safer.
Yeah.
The chief of police was also the head of a unit in Atlanta before being fired there. And that unit was disbanded for terrorizing people.
I'll be of color because it's Atlanta. But yeah.
I don't know for anyone out there who watched the brilliant documentary on HBO a few months back, We Run This City. Another special unit, Gun Trace Task Force in Baltimore. What did they do? We figured out these special units and all this bullshit don't work. It pretty much gives these pigs the latitude to do whatever they want to terrorize the people.
They already do that anyway, but yeah, now it gets worse.
Yeah, you pretty much, with Gun Trace Task Force, it was as long as they were bringing in guns off the street. Nobody said a word. Hey, we're getting guns off the street. But at what cost? This is Baltimore. Now, the chief of police in Memphis did the same thing in Atlanta. Some special unit that did more harm than good. Now we have here in Memphis these cops just pulling people over and beating the shit out of them. Who knows how many times this has happened? If not for that closed circuit TV, I wonder what, because the body cam footage is real dicey. If you just watch it through those eyes, it's real dicey. Mm-hmm. You might almost believe this young person was fighting back to some degree. Mm-hmm. Saw an article that said that they gave 70 commands in that short period of time. The vast majority of which contradictory. 70 commands. You're on the ground. He's on the ground. Put your hands on your back. You're restraining his hands. So like literally, it was impossible to follow these commands from these pigs.
And he said it. Like I said, the guy was still talking. He said, "Yeah, I mean, I'm on the ground. What more you want me to do? You got 4 what? Big motherfuckers on me. What do you want me to do?"
140 pounds, and he wasn't looking like Mayweather out there. So yeah. I'll let you pick up, man. Your thoughts. And last thing, and I'll let you go off. I don't know if you happened to catch First Take today. It was on.
Oh,
but
I don't watch that shit. Right.
Ryan Clark gave a very passionate and moving piece. Seems like Ryan Clark is the one up there with the most sense. Michael Irvin said a few words. Michael Irvin is older than me, but I don't know if that has a lot to do with it. But my problem is he did a lot of, we're not talking about the good brothers out there with the badge uniform on. And that is also a bigger problem for me.
No. That's the
because
same good
there's
content.
right, there's still this notion that, oh, there's just a few bad apples.
Nah, it's not.
No, it's not. The entire thing is trash.
It is.
Stop with this few bad apple shit. The whole thing is trash.
And a waste of time, statistically. And you
Like,
wrote that a long time ago. Statistically, they're a waste of fucking money. And that money and funding of all those millions and maybe billions of dollars funded to them could go to the community and then watch it heal itself.
well, they Atlanta figured it's better to build Cop City because that's the answer there.
Yeah,
Um,
I was in Atlanta.
so I started that to say, you'd be proud. Stephen A. Um, made a very interesting point. He actually echoed something you said. He spoke about Nancy Pelosi, and he spoke about the guy who broke into their house with a hammer and went upside Nancy Pelosi's husband's head with a hammer, and police came and talked him down. Now, got a white guy with a hammer breaking into an elected congresswoman's house and going upside her husband's head with a fucking hammer, and you talked him down. You talked him down.
Mm.
But you want me to put the hammer down. Sorry, had a thorn moment. Had to go back to the first Avengers. You talked him down. This brother literally did nothing but breathe.
That's an offense.
I just okay. I'm gonna let you have it, man. What you got?
I mean, I think everybody's sick and tired of being angry and sick and tired. There's like another topic we want to talk about later. It just seems like the same repeated cycle, and it's getting worse on both fronts with the pigs and with this gun situation. And it's just I don't know what else was statistics, what more of an outcry. Like, do we have to burn this whole to the ground for people to understand this is a problem? Because we're just going through the same cycle over and over and over. Makes you think that Matrix is maybe is real. Damn, the coding is not switching it. We just staying with the same code. Same cycle. Hamster on the wheel. You gotta love it. But yeah, I'm upset as usual. And this is not surprising because like you said, um, most people think our issue or black people's issues or minorities issues is just only with white cops, and that's not the case because most will tell you that the black ones or the ones with colors that have the badge on are the most dangerous and the most one we look out for, unfortunately. And
Right.
this was obviously a case that's a secret, that's now known secret to people that look like us, is that if you run from the cops and they catch you, you're gonna pay for it. It's almost a common thing. Like you run for the cops, they catch you, and that moment, that day, or whatever, they're gonna beat the hell out of you. It's gonna happen. Whether it's on the spot, in the car, or back in the station. Or all three. But that's one of the situations he got. He got away, got, and they literally beat him to death. So um it's unfortunate. It's common practice that they do. And now you got to see it live. Well, maybe not live, but you got to see it. What most people, a lot of people go through here and damn near everywhere in this country. So yeah, it's not a black and white thing, it's a blue thing, and I'm not talking about the Crips. So yeah. But then again, we've already seen many examples. I don't know what else new to say. We've been saying the same for about since we made this damn podcast. I'm trying to come with a new angle. There is no new angle. This shit needs to go. They need to be disbanded. I agree with you. Fuck the fund, disband, and go away with it. Use that fundings for the people. You'll
Well,
be
you
amazed what people will do for themselves. They feel like they're taken care of, and they're not in survival mode. And
mm,
instead of having law enforcement, you have mental officers or whatever. People, because a lot of people now how crazy the world and the pandemic didn't help, have a lot of mental disorders that are probably unchecked and not like all that stuff. So now we had to focus on healing and prevention and not just reactionary stuff. Because, like I've said a long time ago, we're punishing the monster, but not punishing the creator. And that's never going to solve anything because if the creator still lives and walks freely, we're always going to have new monsters. So now we're a dog chasing our own tail. It never ends well, and it will never end. So yeah, all this money for Cop City and whatever budget that all these freaking precincts and law enforcement get, if y'all disperse that completely and put it back into the respective cities, you'll be amazed how much easier life will be, how much crime will suddenly go down. But we already know this because you can just walk outside and tell the difference between one area and another, and there you go. But yeah, it's sad. Fuck the police. And there we go.
Always and forever. Ice Cube told us. Ice Cube told us a lot. You know, even in the famous song "Fuck the Police." But on the other hand, without a gun, they can't get none. But don't let it be a black and a white one. Cause they'll slam you down to the street top black police showing
Showing
out for
out
the
for the
white
white
cop.
guy. Yeah.
There we go. You know, it just KRS-One told us years later. Black cop. Black cop. Wasn't it the song Black Cop? This is literally that song come to life. It ain't just a white cop thing. Initially, it was because again, for the 9 millionth time, cops are the literal descendants of slave catchers.
Right.
But of course, you hired cops into your rank, black cops into your ranks, and that had the effect you wanted to have. Because it's just that's
Most
why I always
Negroes,
say,
basically.
unless I got a cosign from somebody I trust,
No,
I don't trust nobody with a gun and a badge, dog.
I don't trust the cosign either. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, because like I said, the real,
No,
if somebody up there was a cop and
that's
you
you.
told me, nah, this my homie, then
No,
that's a cosign from you.
we
So I'm
wouldn't
like,
be home.
okay, cool.
I wouldn't. Don't put me in this. I would never say that. The second they put on that badge, we are not friends no more. And I mean that in the most disrespectful way possible. So no.
Really, dog.
Yeah, so no, don't put me in your stuff. I just said I don't care who
So
you
if
are.
you was cool with somebody from high school
Yes. No.
and they was like, you know
You
what,
guys,
I'm
man,
trying to
all
find
these
a
damn
gig.
professions out here, go be in the military, be a firefighter, be a real hero. Don't be that weak shit. Yes,
So
cut
you
people off
oh
your list.
wow.
So no, I don't trust you at all. Because even with, like I said, this I gave you a scenario a long time ago. It's like you put a clean fish in a dirty pond. It's going to be dirty. It's impossible to stay clean. Because either you with the shits when you get there, or you turn a blind eye, which basically means you still with the shits. Because we see all the quote unquote what happens to the good ones who don't turn a blind eye. You know what happens to them? I know what happens to the people that happen here. They're not here no more. It's a gang culture. And what have you said? The most dangerous gang is wearing blue, and I'm not talking about Crips once again, who's backed by
Sure
the
do.
government and the most powerful union on the planet. How do I fight that? I don't trust you. So no.
No, not at all. And
So if I can't trust you, we can't be friends or boys or family, wherever the fuck. So no. It ends when you put that badge. So yes. No, I don't care who co-signs you. It can be God for all that care. I'm not doing it. So no. But that's you. Forgiving guy. I like it.
no, I'm not forgiving. It's just, because here's the other thing that's not being spoken out loud. I'm not ain't but so many people on this planet that get a believable that can give me a cosign on much anything. Like it ain't like I got like 20 different. Oh no, he cool. Nah, we. That's why I said you. Because the cosign don't come from somebody like you on my level of people. We don't believe you. You need more people. Sorry. Like this is the list of folk that can give me a cosign or something like that is about I don't know too deep. You one of them.
Well, I'm not gonna be the one, so it's the other one. There you go.
I mean that's about it. But because you're just on GP. Like, nah. And see, the other thing, you know, the other issue I have with that is I've been in situations. I personally don't drink and smoke. I don't knock people who do. That's your thing. They do your thug fizzle, but I don't. But I've been in situations where folks that I knew was cops, and it might be a party or whatever, and they drinking and smoking. And again, of course, the thing is, of course, they off duty, but weed ain't illegal. Now, seem like a small thing, right? But if you're willing to bend that law, what else you willing to bend? And I get it. Phil can say, well, you can't hold them to. No, no, no. I absolutely can hold them to a different standard. You're literally entrusted with serving and protecting the public. So if we at this little get together and some weed come out, you like, oh yeah, pass the blunt, puff, puff, yeah. Um, what else you turning a blind eye to?
That's it. You hold us, the regular citizens, to a higher standard. So you're the one enforcing the law.
Mm.
And if you're the
Oh,
one breaking it, and people was getting 15 years for weed, so yeah, if you breaking that, then yeah, it gotta be something.
I got questions. So it's like, by the way, I took a peek at the article. It came from ABC News. The reason Officer Hemphill has not been fired is because he was not at the second stop. So they deployed taser. He is on his own body cam saying, I hope they stomp his ass. But at the end of the day, when all of this shit went down, he wasn't there.
Yeah, he wasn't. It was just black people. He was, yeah, I
And I'm
remember
like,
he was when he was on the ground the first time, he was the one spraying them and tasing. And then he got
right,
away. And then you heard what he
right.
said. He should be fired just from what he said from that anyway. But you can't have someone quote unquote
Yeah.
serving the public and you saying
And
I hope he stumps him, and then they actually do to the point that he kill him. Like, nah, you gotta go to, bro.
this,
Yeah.
this is this is just disgusting. Um, Memphis PD handled it properly, but let's not go clapping too loudly because the chief of police in Memphis used to be a chief of police in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. Temporarily the chief of police in Durham, North Carolina. I've got to. There are some very heavy allegations that I have not personally vetted them. I will not put them out there, but there are some very ugly allegations as to why she was no longer chief of police in Atlanta. Um, but
So
this whole
okay, see, there's something. Sorry, that's the thing that also pisses me off. Because you've also said this many times, and now I guess it came true. Is that yeah, you can be fired from one jurisdiction, but you can be hired somewhere else.
well, the allegation, and I will preface this by saying I have not personally vetted it.
You don't have to say
I've seen a
allegation.
couple
Just say
sources. I've seen a couple sources, but yeah, this is bad because allegedly, super bold. Allegedly, she was let go for covering up the pedophilia of a fellow officer, um, or something to that effect. Not a
that's
hundred. That's I'm like I got nothing. No, I can't. I haven't read the articles.
that's a bad allegation.
That's a bad allegation, but that blue wall ain't no joke, huh?
I guess not. You prefer. I mean, maybe like I said, when their feels like, oh, you protected the people. You protected your own. Smart woman.
No, and like I said, or is the husband of an officer something, but long and short, it was to that end. But again, she got another job, so I don't know. But it's just you were the head of some specialized unit in Atlanta
You still got
that
fired.
terrorized the people, and you are the head of some special. And that the Scorpion Group has been disbanded. So this neighborhood policing group that's supposed to make things better has been torn apart. Thank goodness, because clearly you couldn't do it. And that's that. And I'm just like, this is a culture. And watching First Take today, it was a rough one because Ryan Clark was on the point of tears. The woman that's on the show with him, she literally was in tears. And I hate that it has to come at this price, but it seems like people are starting to get it that George Floyd was an aberration. that these videos are way too common, and it's getting to the and I hate this because you and I have said this as well. Things get done when white people get beat and killed, right? But what I think more and more white people in this country trying to understand is your black friends aren't safe, and they're finally starting to turn the corner on, yo, my homeboy is black, that could have been him, or my homegirl, her boyfriend is black, that could have been him. And if you're starting to turn, like I told you, George Floyd was the beginning. And
Well,
I said, okay, these pigs ain't gonna keep getting away with what they're doing to us.
I
And
disagree.
now,
Sorry, but
I
you can finish
mean,
though. I disagree. We can finish. I was like, what?
okay, all right, I'll let you guys speak, but I'm like, it's not gonna happen overnight. We're sitting on a country built on systemic racism that embraced it. What, 1776, 1975, 1965, almost 200 years, literally 200 years. It's not going to come apart overnight, even though it should. It's not going to come apart overnight. There's too many people who still believe in law and order. You still got these morons on fucking Fox News looking at places like Portland and other places in California saying, see, this is what happens. You don't have police. You need more police. You need more police. It all falls apart if you don't have police. No, that's statistically untrue. No, that's statistically untrue. If police were the answer, then poor neighborhoods would be fine and rich neighborhoods wouldn't, because there's so many goddamn police in poor neighborhoods. So it's literally untrue.
It
But
is.
you still have law and order. So no, you're not going to take apart a 200-year system in 10, unless you have a radical revolution. And as we both know, most folk ain't ready for that. But you're not good. But like I said, that was going to be the turning point. And I'm willing to bet we have more police convictions and firings in the last 10 years than we've had in the last 100. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm saying the wall is slowly coming down. But your thought, you're going to say, sir?
No, it's not, because we're still getting a cop city and they're still dumping millions, if not billions of dollars into police budgets. So it's not changing. But, and also, the thing about you said, the white people and the white friend and all that, that's if they have empathy. And I think it's something we said before, that as black people, not all white people, but at least primary to the races and the indifferent, which is a lot more people than we choose to believe, um, they lack empathy, and we keep begging for it, and we're not going to get it. So I think we're past the point of trying to get them to understand. It should just be action. Because if you don't understand by now, then you're choosing not to, or you just don't want to. Either way, it's bad. Well, it's the same thing I just said, but or you being indifferent about it. Either way, that's both bad and deterrent to beating people who look like me, which makes you an enemy. So I get the whole love thy enemy thing and all that good stuff, but it's not working. So um, there's clearly two sides. There's people who are pro pig and people who don't like pork. I happen to not like pork. Double entendre. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm done of trying to appeal and appease to, our uh not captors, what is it?
Oppressors.
Suppressors, yeah, oppressors, and trying to claim to their humanity when they've proven in history that they don't have any.
Well, this,
So since that's the case, I'm not gonna bank on what you're banking on. So since I'm not banking on what banking on, there has to be another solution. And there is one without even radical revolution or, the Civil War part two. But that would take us as a collective, because black people have more power than they believe, because this is um, a spending country. What is it called? Capitalist. And I think we're still the highest demographic to spend the most money on stuff. Sometimes useless shit, but we have a lot of spending power. If we stop spending, stop going to work, odd things will happen. the world or the country would damn near pause. And no one has to die from that.
I mean,
Did it back in the day. People stopped taking the bus. They were so mad and affected they tried to get people to force on the bus. And that's just a bus. It's not including work, jobs, other things. Like, if every black person in this country just said, fuck it, and we're not going to work for a week, same time, that's a pretty clear and loud message.
Mhm.
And no one has to die. That's why I'm saying there's other solutions, or we don't have to go the radical route. I prefer not to go the radical route, but you're damn near pushing everybody to go that route. So, but that's how one solution I've seen where it's not the radical route, where you want real protest, you want something real done, and whatever we always say on the show, best way to send a message is to hurt someone's pockets.
sad but true.
And
I
what
hate the
better
fact that
way?
that's got to be. I mean, to me, I didn't mean to interrupt you real quick. The sad reality of that is we got to hurt pockets because a lot of people don't have morality to appeal to. But continue.
That's my point. And that's why I said it. We're trying to appeal to morality, like you said, hopefully there's enough white allies and then they can convince their family who aren't to join the side. But I think everyone is where they are now. So now I think it's just time to take action. Not the radical route, but maybe something like the lines I said, maybe some remix, maybe something else. Where it's going to hurt people's pockets. Because then that sends a message. Unfortunately, that damn near is like learning a lesson in blood. And you'll never forget, and you'll get the message loud and clear. So we hurt their pockets. Maybe things will get done a lot faster than you think it will. But we ain't even ready for that shit yet, because we still having these dumbass debate and division, which is part of the plan too. So yeah, there's that. So it's a funny dream. A man can dream.
Yeah, and the inherent issue, um, the other inherent issue is by default, cops are going to make the best criminals, right? Looking at a story from USA Today in Pennsylvania. Uh, let's get the name out there. This is a police chief, Sean Denning, police chief in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. And this goes back to either you are really stupid or you really have a bit of a God complex or you put that gun and badge on. Greenburg, Pennsylvania has a population of about 15,000. The police force is only 27 people. Let's do some real just common sense. Common sense, just for a second. And these are Fed charges, which means you do 85% of your time. This is done with sting cooperation with a sting for the DEA. So when the feds get you, that's your ass, right? There's 27 cops in the whole damn force. Wow, what did you think? No one was gonna notice? No one was gonna notice, but he's the middleman brokering large drug deals per the DEA. So he's the dude you go see. We won't go see the kingpin. He's setting up the meets. I'm just like, it's only 27 cops on the force. You
What in the jukebox is going on?
damn, like, come on, dog. You gotta be smarter than that. But apparently either you're dumb or you believed you're invincible.
Both.
I don't know. I gotta go one or the other. Because you're not stupid. I gotta go you same thing with these cops in Memphis.
You're stupid
You
enough to
thought
think
you were
you're
gonna get
invincible. Yeah,
you
that's what I
thought you
said.
were gonna get away with it.
Yeah, that's stupid. So both.
But yeah, faces 1 million, faces up to 20 years in the Fed and a $1 million fine. And we're talking from June 21 to October 2022. But the mayor of Greensburg said he's no longer with the force. No shit. I mean, So yeah, he was pretty much the middleman. But again, you're supposed to serve and protect. You were serving and protecting those interests, all right. But I just find it interesting. Like this goes back to what I said. Do I believe there's a lot more dirt than we know about going on? Yes. But I do believe slowly but surely a light is being shined on it in certain places. I do think things like Cop City are setting us back, or what might be the scarier piece is setting us up. Because with the current climate of how people feel about law enforcement, building Cop City is just a bad look. And if anyone out there who didn't pay attention, who didn't get a chance to follow last episode,
You
Cop
should.
City,
Good.
yeah, Cop City is being built outside of Atlanta, which is a newly blue state. Outside of Atlanta, a major black metropolitan city, and it allows them to basically practice how they're going to kick your ass. Urban infiltration and urban suppression and things like that. You and I both know. Everyone should know when you talk about urban tactics who we're really talking about. Um, I still have questions on where's Atlanta's black elite. Y'all too busy listening to trap music and making trap music to pay attention to what's going on.
Is Killer Mike even
Cool.
saying anything?
I'm not even sure, but that is one place I look. But let's talk about the people folks actually listen to. Where's your TIs? Where's your Tyler Perry's? Where's your
Oh,
Candy Burses?
yeah, I ain't happening.
Where's all these black elites? Because black folk love them some Atlanta boy. Well, Atlanta this, Atlanta that, hot Atlanta that. Well, they're building the hammer to crush you with right under your nose. Unless we're gonna do what I call a Jay Z route, and y'all think some of y'all are rich enough to be insulated. And I swear the number it requires for that level of insulation is a
Not none
lot
of
higher
them.
than people think.
Maybe Tyler Perry, but not T.I. and none of the regular people use it.
Well, see, you talking Atlanta royalty now, so there's a difference. Either you straight up have the number and it's global, or you have a number, but because you're a hometown hero or a hometown person, the number ain't got to be as high. You see what I'm saying?
Anytime T.I.'s been arrested since he's been famous and went to jail, I don't think they have any
I'm about to
problem.
say not recently, not recently,
I don't think he's done anything.
you know. But I think in Atlanta, Ti has a number to go along with his name to not get done like Tyre Nichols. Sad but true. But there is a certain number you need to have, which is pretty much universal insulation, and I think it's somewhere north of 100 M's at least. Like you gotta have at least 100 M's because that'll get you out of a lot of shit.
Probably need more than that. You probably need 1 billion. So what happened to Kanye?
I
He,
still say that's a horrible example.
I mean, he was a billionaire, and you probably thought he was untouchable. All this he said in the past, nothing happened, and then he says one thing, and that all disappears.
I still think he's a horrible example because
How? He's a billionaire. That's a number higher than what you just said, and he's been touched. So what are we talking about?
I mean I guess on the surface you're right. It's just I never one was I never knew it was confirmed that he was worth the Billy. Excuse me, or not. And then his proximity, that was an asterisk because his proximity to Kim and that kind of whiteness, and then to piss that kind of whiteness off. But he could, on his face, you're absolutely right. On his face, you are absolutely right. Um, wow, but this law enforcement, right? Law enforcement. Now we're gonna take this to a different place because this is just, we talked about this, and you're right. I don't know if I jinxed it, but
You did.
as of today, read an article coming from ABC News again. Victims identified in sixth mass shooting in 13 days to Rock, California. All three women killed were tourists, including two from Chicago. Okay. Six mass shootings in 13 days in California.
Dang, 6? That was 4. Oh, that was just a
As
week.
of today.
Oh, that
As
was a
of
week.
today.
Yeah, it was 4 in a week, so I guess they added 2 more for 2 weeks. Either way, that's still way too high.
You see, this is concerning because it's where the money is. This one was in the Beverly Crest neighborhood of LA. This borders Beverly Hills. 2:30 in the morning or so.
Hmm.
Found inside a car outside of the rental home. Boy, 29, 26 years old. They think it was a targeted attack that occurred after a party or some sort of gathering. Two victims in critical condition. A lot to talk about. One, what is going on in California? Two, between New York and LA and these ridiculously strict gun laws, something is definitely slipping through the cracks. Something is definitely slipping through the cracks. Um, I don't know what's in the water out there in Cali, man, but this is Beverly Hills. This is so we haven't had one in a while, but I got to go back to Dark Knight Rises. Bane was sent to tear Gotham apart, and Catwoman actually mentioned there was going to be a storm coming, and pretty much eat the rich. When you live in Beverly Hills, when you live in these we never thought it would happen here type neighborhoods, and it happens. I'm sure there's going to be some phone calls to some higher ups and local authorities in the very near future. Because the whole point, as we just talked about literally 2 to 5 minutes ago, of a certain income level is insulation from those people doing those things, right? Like you're not around the crack dealers anymore. Y'all doing lines of coke. Y'all doing the real stuff.
Yeah, you just buying it from them. Yeah, okay, all right. But yeah,
you're around crackheads and hood shit. You doing coke. You at the parties where they break out. Hey, you want to do a line? Want to do a bump? But this is concerning. If I live in Beverly Hills, I'm giving these things just don't ever happen here. I'm giving that interview. But I don't know what's going on in Cali. 6 and 13 days. That's like every other day. Four more people get blasted. That's like.
So that's just Cali. We ain't even gonna say the number of the whole country this last 2 weeks. So yeah.
Well, see, now to be honest though, the number is a little skewed because I think to be classified as a mass shooting, 4 or more people have to be shot.
That's a lot of people get shot.
Yes,
it's not a mass. I can see if it's 2 or 3. This is a horrible thing to say, but I can see if it's 2 or 3. I wouldn't classify as a mass shooter. I just say, these niggas get shot every day, B. But all right, that was bad. That was horrible timing. They're not gonna be all right. No camera voice. Yeah, when 4 people get shot, that's a lot of people. At least
it is. I mean, it is, but it isn't though.
I mean, you don't have to die for it to be a match. You just had to get
That's
shot.
my point. That's my point. And I'm like, it's okay, not to be foul, but we're getting desensitized to it. But blasting 4 people ain't as hard as you think. And there's a reason why. No, I'm just saying, like,
it's still a mass shooting.
And that's what's like,
So what would you classify as a mass shooting? They have to die, or has to be 5 or more?
I'd say they'd have to die, and the reason being is every major city has a party district. You go through any major city about 1:30, 1:45 a.m. over the weekend, it's a ton of people outside on the streets because that's when the clubs is letting out.
Right.
Like,
okay, so if I let loose in the crowd, that's not a mass shooting?
No, I'm saying it is, but it's just like before we get, oh my God, so many mass shootings. Well, it is on the surface.
Yeah, let you be one of them people to get shot. Yeah, I bet you call it mass shooting then.
Nah, B, I'm in the house. 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm in the house. Ain't nothing. Got sound like an old head now. Ain't nothing good going on past midnight.
Also feel. Um, yeah, this. Either way, it's still a problem. We shouldn't have to worry about four more people getting shot.
You got to
Like
move to the
I said,
suburbs.
nowhere else has this problem but us.
You
I'm,
got to move. You got to move to
I'm
the country.
like I
That
said,
way, it
I'm
can't be.
willing. I'm willing to bet, and this is sad that Cali's had more mass shootings this year than the whole world combined, or close to it.
Mm, I
So
mean,
no
all
wonder
nonsense aside, though, they. I don't know what's going on in Cali. Like Cali's getting all because we,
six.
we don't even do that stupid thing the media does every Monday. 69 people shot in Chicago, 45 died. Like for some, I don't know how Chicago became the face of gun violence, but for a stretch, you could turn on Fox News or whatever, and it's always going to be how many people got shot in Chicago over the weekend. Like,
And we're having running rifle numbers in that piece. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing?
but Cali need to chill. This don't like this ain't no crib and blood shit neither. This ain't no gang shit. This is Cali need to chill. Oh, I don't know. I think I mentioned it to you, but I think I mentioned it to you off air. I think it's worth mentioning now. Speaking of mass shootings in Cali, the guy who saved lives and broke up the Monterey shooting and Tyre Nichols' mom have both been invited by the president for the next State of the Union address. People are going to call me a cynic. I'm okay with that. But unless it is going to be a serious conversation about gun control and changing policing, this is performative bullshit.
It is performative bullshit, and you know it.
Yes and no. And this is sad because either way, I don't think it's completely genuine. It's either at worst performative bullshit,
Okay.
or they're going to use this to leverage pushing through change about gun control and change to policing and finally getting that George Floyd policing bill pushed through.
Not gonna
Because
happen.
the midterm elections have already happened. There's nothing, it's not political in the sense of ain't nobody running for reelection. All the midterms just went by last November, and the presidency ain't for another couple years. So this ain't about it. Ain't that. So this is either perform bullshit or you're going to try to leverage the country and use the emotion to try to have a real conversation about gun control, which I wouldn't be mad at.
This is why I think you're wrong. Kids have died twice, two different places. The motions was at all time high. Nothing happened. This ain't gonna change that. And like I said, the pig thing, that's not going to change because we still got majority of people thinking that they do more good than harm. So that's not going to change either. And then also the NRA got the you know what stuck up you know where. So until that gets removed from that area, then yeah, nothing going to change. Thoughts and prayers though, and then we're gonna take a nice little picture with Uncle Joe. He's gonna smile. Hopefully, there's no kids there. And then yeah, we're
Then
good.
what? Because I'm like, then why invite them? If you, yeah,
It's optics. We all know how well, maybe not all, because a lot of people drink the Kool-Aid when it comes to their representative party. That's so crazy. And yeah, it's all optics. Make it look good. Like, oh, sorry for your loss, yada yada yada. Chop it up. Give them a nice bouquet or whatever. Send them home. We're good. Have a nice day. Back to
right.
business.
I just, I really hope they're not going to be using some bullshit. I really hope they're not going to be used as props and a chance for the Democratic Party to, like I said, use them as props. But I just find it interesting that you're going
I
to
can't.
invite them to the White House. It's like, okay. Because, like I said, I would be that guy. If we're not talking about gun control, why am I here? If we're not talking about getting that George Floyd policing bill, which people really need to take a look at because it's not what they think it is. It's federal level, which means your local state pigs ain't really going to be but so effective. But anywho, Anywho, reading is fundamental. But anywho, if we're not having real conversation about changing how policing is done, why am I here? I wouldn't want to be here. But that's just me, and I get it. Everyone's gonna call me a cynic. That's fine. I'll be that. Red and meth voice. I'll be that. But nah, I don't. I'm curious to see now what's gonna happen. Because you don't just invite them to sit in for a photo op. Hope you know that's stupid. But we'll see. So next story is very interesting. Very interesting. Now of course the article I pulled is from Fox News, so you gotta take it from where it is. Um, this is story happens in the UK. A transgender woman, and I'm taking this out right off the article from Fox News. Transgender woman in the United Kingdom was convinced of raping two women when she was a man, and now is being sent to a female prison awaiting sentencing. So Isla Bryson of Scotland was found guilty committing rapes when she was previously named Adam Graham, a muscular man with a shaved head and face tattoo. Okay. Um, this gets interesting. Bryson denied the charges, telling the High Court of Glasgow that any sex was consensual and she would never hurt another human being. However, this is from 2016 and 2019. Both crimes took place in Scotland, and you got found guilty. And that is no small thing. Because if you know anything about rape and, about SA, and the conviction rate is low. So, 50 Cent voice, if they said you did that shit, you did that shit. Because he got all the way to not just the trial, but convicted. Yeah.
I don't know about that one, but you going.
I mean, Bryson claimed to the court she knew she was trans at the age of 4, but didn't make the decision to transition until she was 29. Said that Adam Graham was her dead name. And not Adam anymore. Bryson is now taking hormones and seeking surgery to complete gender reassignment.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's a lot here. Now, there's a lot of people upset, and they think Bryson is ducking going to jail with men. I'm like, I don't see. I think this is the part where I think people start underestimating what jail is, fam. Like, people be like, oh, they only got 5 years. They should have got, like, again, we done said this numerous times. Most of us ain't built for 5 days in a maximum penitentiary.
We're not. Now, granted, that's usually because we go to our respective jails. The man is not going to, and I'm not talking about her. The man usually is not going to a woman jail. Usually going with the other men. And you know what happens to people that do crimes like that in prison with other men. You might get the same treatment. But it's not really what happen. You go to a woman jail.
I think that's one of the biggest misnomers because if you ask anybody that's been to jail, period, if you watch any of these jail shows, ain't no fucking picnic in the women's correctional facility.
I'm not saying this, but he's. I say this. She was a man, and from what you described, very muscular,
and is giving it all away, taking all the hormones, and is about to have gender reassignment surgery.
That's gonna take a while, and then I hope that surgery means that there's no more a snip snip, because without the snip snip, she needs to be with the man.
That's it. That's what's gonna happen.
Okay. I mean, it could be breast implants and stuff like that.
Going the whole nine. Going the whole nine.
Okay, if you're doing full transition, I have no problem with this.
Right, I have no problem with you. And the thing is this. Look, fam, I don't care which jail you go to. You go into jail.
It's true.
Like, I don't really care which jail you go to.
I
I
think,
don't really care that you transition.
but I
I just
think,
know who you are. This person is sitting in a cell.
but I think people were upset because of the headline, because it just says
Yeah, because people
convicted
think,
SAE. So they're thinking that what I thought at first until I read the details is why people, and this is why it's the microwave era. You got to read the whole thing, read the fine print.
mm-hmm,
Don't just read the
mm-hmm,
headline because the headline
mm-hmm,
is misleading and that's usually clickbait. And this was clickbait because he even said, I think, I don't know, not too long after the first couple sentences that yeah, that she's transitioning, but she's also getting procedures, which will in my mind think that the tool that used to be he used to land herself in prison will no longer be there. So the fear of what could happen with her being with the women can't happen.
mm-hmm. And and let's be real here. The reason people are up in arms is because there's this belief that women's prison is somehow less brutal than men's. And I'm
No,
like, because that's like you trying to get off light. Like, fam, you're not. Women's prison ain't no. Women's prison presents a whole nother level of threat, a whole different level of threat than it does being a men's prison. So I'm like, now of course, if you did the numbers, the men's prison is going to be higher because there's simply more men in prison by number. But jail is jail, dog, and I ain't trying to be in either one of them. Even as a dude, if you still be in a women's prison, I wouldn't like that either.
I don't want to be in the prison at all because who wants to be locked up?
Ding 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 ding.
No freedom.
I don't take orders well, dog. That's why I didn't go to the military.
I don't either.
Hey,
No, well,
hey,
yeah.
get down and give me 50. Do it yourself. I don't feel like it. Get away
Yeah,
from me.
yeah. Firing squad ready for you. But you're not Logan,
Right.
so you won't heal. So yeah. But yes.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not, that's what I'm gonna do. Just like, let alone jail, and you gotta do what they tell you to do, whatever. What all the way to hell ever. So no, but this is wild. Like, there's people upset, and I'm like, y'all need to calm down because y'all making it seem like uh, doing time in the women's prison as a woman is just kinky. Like, no, this is not the okay. I People are going with the whole I'm just claiming I'm trans, so I'll go to girls' women's prison. No, committed. Want the whole surgery,
Mm-hmm.
snippy snip,
It
and
did.
that's that. I'm mad at that.
I'm not either.
So, but you still in jail, dog.
Pretty
Right?
much.
I
Still
don't
gonna
care
do
who
that time.
I don't. I don't care who you locked up with. You still locked up. So that's that. But all right. That's just enough of the news for the moment. Um, it's almost that time, man. Creed 3 is coming. Ant-Man is coming. Is the first Ant. I gotta do some homework because I don't know who King the Conqueror is, but my comic nerds, we talking like dude is badass. So I'm like, all right, let me do some homework because I don't know nothing about dude. Um, yeah, I don't know nothing about dude because I'm like, who? But if apparently Marvel done dug up another badass villain. Creed 3 is coming. And wow, I just realized Jonathan Majors is about to be a very paid individual.
About to
He's
be.
in
You mean
both.
already?
He's in both. I just realized that it's about to be
Yeah.
the spring of Jonathan Majors.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still riding what I said. I think, brother, from based on what I know about physique, following bodybuilding, I'd bet a kidney that brother's all natty.
Cool.
Jonathan Majors.
Oh yeah.
Because
He
if
did
because
he
if
did
he
it.
because if he ain't natty, neither is Michael B. Jordan.
I
Like no,
don't know about
them
Michael B.
brothers,
Jordan. I don't
them
know.
brothers is natty,
Not
dog.
Michael B. Jordan. But
We
Jonathan,
at that point where anytime somebody got more than two muscles, they taking the juice.
I just
No,
said, and Jonathan Majors look bigger than him. I just said he look natural. I mean, he a country boy, and he probably got that country grown man strength, and he just lives in the gym because he did. I think he did an interview with GQ Fitness or something or Men something like that. And I
men's
watched
health,
it. Yeah, Fitness
women's
Hub.
fitness. Yeah,
Yeah, and I was watching him train. He got his trainer, and what he eats is like I don't remember
super
how
clean.
old he is, but I don't think he needs help. I don't think he's that old where he needs help.
Well, anytime. I mean, one of the things we don't talk about enough in this country, because now even trying to make money off that. Any guy over 35 needs help.
That was 40.
You start losing testosterone. How it works is your testosterone level starts going down every year past 35.
I don't think
How
he's.
much it goes down is dependent upon your lifestyle up to that point. So if you've been sedentary, you got a lot of gut fat. And it's not me knocking people who are sedentary have gut fat. I'm just talking about the medical effects of it. Your testosterone level is gonna drop faster.
Well, he's not there because he's 33. So there you go. He doesn't
Okay,
need.
don't need help.
Don't need.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how Hugh Jackman is gonna get back in Wolverine shape. But
You
yeah,
know how he's going. He's going to take that that 8 inch.
stop, yo, stop, yo. Hugh Jackman is not on the juice. Stop, yo.
So you mean to tell me in those movies you weren't on the juice? Really?
Bruh, I think people underestimate when it is literally when you have nothing, when everything is done for you. You know the physique you can build. Like, listen, you don't have to go to
So all
work.
right, all right. So you
You
think
don't
Thor
have to
was
cook.
natural?
Chris might have had a little help.
Oh, a little.
Chris,
Look,
Chris,
he had complete help. He looked like a damn body. Damn.
Chris
He
might have had
looked
a
like
little
a
help.
damn body. If you look at him from the first Thor movie to when he now, he had help, my guy.
But if you look at The Rock from his first movie, The Black Adam,
Didn't he have? Doesn't he have help? He was a wrestler. They all juice.
well, I mean, how he has a better physique now than when he was in the WWE.
And what that would make like that would kind of prove my point that he really juicy because he up there too. So he just naturally getting strong. He's down near your age, if not older. So you telling me he's just
No,
naturally that
Rock is
cut and
over.
that big
The Rock is over
naturally?
50. No, The Rock is
Exactly.
over 50.
Okay, so you think he has no help at 50, looking like that?
God, I hate to go down this rabbit hole, but it depends on what kind of help you're talking about.
Steroids.
Without going too far down the bodybuilding rabbit hole. There's flat out anabolic, and then there's stuff that's like will boost your testosterone production, things like that, SARMs. So it's like,
You know,
are we saying
HGH or
you
whatever.
think he took? Yeah, you think he took the hard course?
Yes. And I'm not gonna knock him for it. It's his body. I mean, if you look like that, I guess it'll pay it off. But he has some type of. Ain't no way that's all natural. He's just drinking some whey protein, eating chicken breast and broccoli all day. Hell no. Hell no. That's unless he's a mutant for real, and the X gene is real. But other than that, nah, yo, you had help, my boy.
Okay, I don't know how we got here, but
You
going back
brought
to
it up.
Jonathan Majors, I was saying both of them brothers seem natty because the second you got more than two muscles now, everybody you want the juice, and no, I think Michael B. Jordan and Bo Jonathan Majors just got you know they put in the work. They on that rock program where it's like, yo, my body is my money
Yeah,
maker.
that is it. If that's the case, they really juice it.
No, it's just just certain people in Hollywood can they understand their physique is part of the appeal, part of how to get roles. Will Smith did it for Ali. Um, Short lived, but one of my favorite movies, The Departed. Ben Affleck, he got diced. Um, Christian Bale did it for Batman. And what we don't talk about enough is Tom Hardy definitely did it for Bane.
I mean, they both will with Christian and Tom. They both do that method acting thing where they will either lose a lot of weight, as you see with Christian in the I think the Machinist, where
Mm-hmm.
he looked like a damn skeleton, and that was all
Mm-hmm.
real, no special effects. He starved
Right.
himself, and then you bulk up. Or sometimes you get a gut because I think after Dark Knight he developed a gut, and that was real for a role. And I was like, that's got to be one. A lot of discipline and taxing on your body, and probably not healthy at all. But
Mm-hmm.
he's, I guess, obsessed with his craft, and that's why he's one of the greatest of all time in terms of acting,
Mm-hmm.
along with Tom. But yeah,
Yeah,
just
Tom Hardy's a great Tom. I mean, some folks just this generation, I think, don't get enough credit for how great of actors they are. Christian is one,
he's
Tom is
gold.
another. I think Michael Fassbender. Oh my gosh, he's got an impressive body of work
He's up
because
there.
it's like between his work as an android and himself in Alien. And
You know, it's a horrible movie. But yes.
it was not a horrible movie. What are you talking about? Alien Covenant was dope.
Yeah.
Um, Alien Covenant, the last one was Alien Covenant was good.
Not the last one, the first one. The first one was trash. So you talking about the
No,
last?
no, Prometheus was trash, but
Okay,
Alien
okay.
Covenant was
It
good.
was okay. Okay, but it was okay.
Alien Covenant was good because people got like
In the dumbest ways possible and the most cliche horror movie style possible. But yes, they did.
no,
Let's
because
be
they
me.
like I said, they tried to
Let's
do
be
the
me.
things that made sense.
Yeah, they
Like
did. She had it, and then she like no, no. She was in. She
nah,
walked the right path, and then just made the most dumbest U turn for no reason. You had it right there. You just see.
because when she
And
was
be
like,
me.
let me out,"
Nope.
I'm like, "Nah, I'm good."
Oh.
And she went. That's honestly what I would have done. You locked in there with dude and something coming down his back. Let me out. No, I'm good. I'll tell you what. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get the shotty. Now, if you talking about the girl that was locked in there, well, yeah, that'd have been different. Like, you had a knife and it just didn't go well for you at the end of the day. But as far as the girl on the outside, oh yeah, I'm not opening this door. Not till I
And
go back and get this. Not till I go get the shotty, which she did. She just slipped and
and
fell like a moron.
this
Like,
Friday the
but no,
13th just falling a phantom fall. And yes, nah.
but but no, but Michael Fassbender, and I'm like, I don't think he gets enough credit as young Magneto. Like, he does a very convincing job as a younger Magneto. So yeah, Michael Fassbender, he's got a couple like indie films where I'm just like, wow. But gosh, I forgot how we got here. But yeah, I'm looking for my excitement level for Ant Man is really high. I'm looking at a out of 10. This is the first Ant Man I'm actually on fire to see. Definitely looking forward to seeing Creed because the other thing I'm on fire about Creed, but the other thing is like, did y'all just like quietly phase out Sly Stallone and didn't tell anybody? Like, well, I'm trying to see that angle too. Is Rocky just dead? Is he on vacation? Like, gangsters don't die, they get chubby and move to Miami. What happened? This whole thing is built on his shoulders. Like, y'all just are like, nah, Sly, we good, we got it. So I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. Always a good thing to see Tessa Thompson. That's gonna be dope. But it's just I gotta give it to him because the storylines in Creed have been really fresh, and even though the ending is semi predictable, it's not cheesy. It's like it's not Rocky Four, Ivan Drago cheesy. Like, he's gonna beat the Russian. So you will lose. I must break you. We know. But yeah, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. What's your excitement level, sir?
Yeah, I'm excited for Creed. I'm excited for Ant-Man. This is my first Ant-Man I ever seen because I never seen the first two. Not
Nope.
even once. It's still on Disney Plus. Still don't even bother to look at it because I don't think I missed anything. And I didn't. But this one is a big thing just because of, like you said, Kang. So, and that's going to kickstart the whole rest of the phases. He's the next new big bag for the Avengers movies and hopefully set up Doctor Doom. And they do it right. Because if they don't, I'm done with Marvel. I promise
Hmm.
you. They mess
I
up
hear, I
Doctor
hear, I
Doom.
hear a lot of people
Done.
saying that, and yet,
Oh, I'm done. Oh, I'm done. They haven't messed. I mean, they ain't messed up Thanos, and we waited what a decade for that.
okay, it's Thanos' voice. When y'all say now I'm done with Marvel, the next flick gonna come out, y'all gonna be right there, and I'm gonna have a Thanos voice. You could not live with your own failure, and look where
No,
that brought you
see, that's the difference
back to me.
between me and everyone else. When I say I'm done, done. So yeah, they messed him up. Ain't nothing to see because he's supposed to be the next big bad. If you mess the big bad up, who's next? Who am I gonna look forward to?
I mean, yeah, you gotta do something because you did an awesome job with Thanos. You remixed the Kent, and it was still dope. I'm trying to think, as far as mainstream, because I'm not a comic nerd. So as far as mainstream baddies go, you got Galactus, you got Doctor Doom. I think out of between the two, Doctor Doom was going to be the most polarizing because
He's the
Galactus is
biggest
an
one.
oversized. Galactus is an oversized machine. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
a
as far as
battle with Galactus is going to be like the Transformers versus Unicron. Now, again, just show my age there. Most of you don't know the 1986 version of Transformers. I
He's
get
still
it.
a nerd. He's just not a comic nerd. He's a cartoon nerd. It's okay. Yes.
But yeah, I'm on fire about those. So yep. Run it back, recap here. Tyre Nichols. I'm sorry that happened to you, man. Like that's and I know I really can't put into words. They all bother me. This one really bothered me. Because there's it's never an excuse, but there's usually a flimsy excuse or why he did it. They don't even have an excuse as to why he was pulled over to begin with. So it really seemed like you pigs just picked somebody to fuck with and you killed him. And ain't a lot of kind words for what I want to see happen to them. And I am not a vengeful person, except when it comes to this group of people who think they can kill with impunity. And nope, not even looking at the racial part. Because once you put on that uniform, to me, you've given up every other identity you could possibly have. You are now a state sanctioned killer. And I'm sorry, I just believe most of you function in that mindset. Um, for the one kid that was not disciplined, not to that extent. I don't know. You weren't there when the fatal beatdown happened, but you did tase him, and you are heard on camera saying, "I hope they stomp his ass." Well, you got your wish. How do you feel now?
Probably happy.
How do you feel now? How do you feel now? To the cop in PA, like basic numbers here. When there's only 27 cops, you're one of 27. Kind of makes it easier to figure out who's dirty. You might want to go to a different jurisdiction, New York, Boston, somewhere there's more than 27 of you, you freaking moron. So yeah, facing 20 years in the Fed. And when the Fed come knocking, you pretty much toast. And they got it all on tape when informant. Yeah, bye bye. Cali, I don't know what's going on in the water out there, but I really hope things calm down. Because all jokes aside, this is you're averaging every other day, pretty much, just damn near every other day. More than 4 people get shot. That's and I hate to sound like a Republican here, but what's all them gun laws for if you get in a mass shooting every other day? Something ain't working.
It's not working
Something ain't
in
working.
Republican states either, so that's why I was like, well.
And to the guy now, woman who is transitioned, I do find your statement odd when you say I felt like I was a woman since I was 4, but you waited till now to transition. It does raise an eyebrow. Because if you felt that way since you was 4, did you feel that way when you were committing essay?
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, I think it felt like how you were born at that moment.
So it's just very interesting time in there. I don't care who your cellmates are, as long as you in one. Men, women, whatever. As long as you in a cell and off the streets and can't hurt other people until you learn your lesson, until you're rehabilitated. Cool.
Well, you're not gonna be real good then. So I don't know if you're being sarcastic or being serious, but yeah.
No, I'm being serious because remember, our belief is jail is supposed to be a place of rehabilitation.
But it's not.
I mean, it's not here. They're being locked up in Scotland, so it's not here.
Well,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know
I
if
don't,
Scotland
right.
is.
I don't know what Scotland is, but I'm just saying. And then last but not least, yeah, I'm on fire about Ant-Man. First time ever. Definitely looking forward to Creed. 2 brothers that are juice free, and that's that. Your recap, sir.
Excuse me. Yeah. Fuck the police. Uh, rest in peace to the brother. And as I hope the world knows, finally, that it's not a black and white issue per se. It's a blue versus everybody issue. Trey versus everybody. Not this. Yeah. I guess he should still be fired. The white pig that pepper sprayed and whatever and tased him and then said, "Hope you stomp him out," and then they actually did it. And yeah, So just off that comment alone, he should be fine. Yeah, like you said, you're not smart. You thought you were invincible, and you're stupid. So yeah, 20. We said 27 cops, our whole jurisdiction. Yeah, it's not like this is the easiest word. It's the easiest Where's Waldo ever. Um, Cali shooting. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Cali. It's supposed to be what La La Land. Thought we supposed to be high and happy and eating salads and shit, but I guess not. We eating lead bullets instead on the side of salad. But yeah, hopefully the blue state gets it right. Um, and we can stop having, 4 more people get shot every other day and a half. And the SA guy or woman now that's transitioning, I really don't care because once I read more of the details and they're getting full transition, I have no problem there because now you can go there and there'll be no worries about what you did on the outside happening in there, or at least with that part. And I'm excited for the Ant-Man movies to be the first one. Get to see Kang. I know John May was going to do his thing in both movies, oddly enough. And this will probably be my first Creed movie I've seen in theaters. I think I've seen parts of the first one, not
What?
the second one. So I'm blind like a mug, but I don't care. I'm going to go watch
Wow, you didn't see. Wow, I didn't realize that. Where you been? But anywho, as always, thank you all for tuning in. Same back time, same back channel next week. On behalf of myself and my awesome co-host from the Yeah I Said It podcast. Peace.
it. Yeah.